Hi friends! As you know, Aftermarket went live on Tuesday, and we got this really cool new LTM called Flashpoint. You can check out my videos on Crossplay and the Heirloom, that's the caustic heirloom, from Aftermarket, in the description below or by clicking through to my channel. But in this video, I thought it would be good to focus on how to play Flashpoint, and I'm going to share some tips and just general thoughts on this new LTM, because I actually really like Flashpoint as a game mode. It's kind of a fun way to encourage you to move through the map, and it's got some solid team deathmatch vibes, which I kind of like. On a side note before I get started, do check the description below for my buddy Boomer's video, because he does a video on Flashpoint where I'm actually playing with him, and he's on PlayStation 4, and obviously you guys know I'm on Xbox, so you get to see some solid crossplay footage there in that video. Oh, one other thing before I get started, I have some exciting news. I'm doing my first ever live stream of Apex Legends this Saturday at 8 PM UK time. So do come and join me. It's my first ever stream, so I could do with the support. Also, if you want to win some Apex Legends coins, come watch me on the stream, because at the start of that stream, I'm going to give 2 people the chance to win 1,000 Apex Legends coins each. Message me on Discord before Saturday if you want to have a chance of winning that 1,000 Apex coins. Only 2 people will get that chance, so first come first serve, so be the first to message me. I'll also be playing with subs on that stream, so click the subscribe button down below and come join me on Saturday if you want to play some Apex Legends with me. Now that we have crossplay, it doesn't matter which platform you're on, I can play with any of you, so it's going to be awesome. Okay, so let's get into this video. Let's talk about Flashpoint and how it works, and then I'll share a few tips on how to do well in Flashpoint. So the concept of Flashpoint is actually really simple. There are no heals in the game, except for Phoenix Kit in the crafting station. There are no heals, there's no med kits, nothing, no shield batteries, none of that. Instead, you have healing zones, and these healing zones passively heal your health and your shields while you're in the zone. These zones are actually spread out throughout the map. You can kind of see these bubbles on the map, and also as you're flying over from the dropship, as you saw those kind of bubbles. Those zones, as long as you're in the zone, will passively heal you. You don't need to do anything, it'll just actively heal you. On top of this, the ring is constantly closing, so it's the same as the always be closing LTM we had a while ago, and it basically means the ring is closing at a constant speed. The other thing to note is the ring actually does a lot of damage constantly. There's no first round, second round kind of varying damage. It's just the same damage, and it's quite a lot of damage, so try not to get caught in the ring. Now let's talk about some tips, because there's some quite useful tips. I mean, these are quite basic, but they should still help you if you're trying to work out how you should tailor your gameplay to work in Flashpoint. So the first thing I think about is where to land. You don't need to land in a Flashpoint, but it's always good to land near one, because if you get in early battles, pretty much the only way to heal is getting into one of those zones. So you want to land near one if you can, if not in one. And in fairness, the good loot areas tend to be Flashpoints anyway, so you should be fairly well covered if you're landing or aiming for a Flashpoint. The second tip is to try and aim your fighting to take place in Flashpoints. Avoid fighting outside of Flashpoints. Unless you're really close to a zone and you know you can quickly duck into a zone to heal, try not to fight outside of Flashpoints. Unless, again, you know a team is running to another Flashpoint and you think you can pick them off easily, then go ahead. Otherwise, try and keep your fighting to Flashpoints, because otherwise if you get into a fight outside of a Flashpoint, you have no way to heal, which leaves you quite vulnerable if you're moving then into a Flashpoint and there are teams there already in that Flashpoint at full health. Tip 3. Push teams quickly. Seriously, in Flashpoint, if a team is already in a Flashpoint and you're doing damage to them, there's only a 4-second delay before they start regenning their health and their shields. So there's no point doing damage and then waiting 4 seconds before you push, because they'll start healing again. What you really want to do is, as soon as you do decent damage, say you take off 2 of the enemy team's shields, you want to push as quickly as possible with your whole team. Don't hold back. To be fair, that's kind of the general principles of Apex Legends anyway, but in standard mode you could just keep tagging people with a sniper at long range, and eventually it'll wear them down. Obviously in this game mode where it just actively heals you when you're in the zone, that doesn't really work quite so well. So do try and push teams as soon as you do decent damage. Don't wait too long. Tip 4 is don't be afraid to armor swap, especially outside a zone. Like I said, if you do get into a situation where you're fighting outside of one of these healing zones, then make sure you're armor swapping, because it's actually a good way to regen your health. Like I said, no heals, no shields, there's no way to do it if you're outside of a zone unless you armor swap. And the reason I'm saying that is, I know that's pretty standard in Apex Legends, but I feel like in Flashpoint people are less incentivized to swap armor because they feel they need to get into a Flashpoint to heal and they don't feel like they want to swap armor. But it's actually quite a useful tool to still do it in Flashpoint. Like I said, it's quite a fast-paced game mode, so by armor swapping, it actually allows you to carry on that fast pace. The final tip I would say is just move between zones quickly. Try not to hang around a zone too long, unless you're in the final ring in a zone. In all fairness, I would say try and land a little bit further away from the finishing ring and work your way through the zones on a constant move to get to that final zone. Try not to hang around in the zones too much. I mean, naturally you'll have to move, as I said, the ring is always closing, so you'll have to move naturally, but do try your best to just keep moving through the zones, not just to get kills, but it's just the best way to move between zones, if you can. Anyway, these were just some of my initial thoughts on how to play Flashpoint from my experience. I know it's a new LTM, and that's why I wanted to share just my thoughts on how you could approach it and how you could tailor your gameplay to do well in Flashpoint. And as you can see, I make use of all of these tips in this video, and I end up actually winning the game, with a fair few kills and some decent damage. So, I hope these tips were useful for you. Good luck. Do go give this LTM a try. Like I said, it's probably not for everyone, but I quite enjoy it. And again, don't forget to come join me on YouTube live on Saturday. I look forward to seeing you all there. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.